I know where there's some, right here in the hall, clerk.
No, Molly, not in there. I have enough.
Okay, as you'll recall, this radio is missing a compass up here. Now, it's not really a compass, it's a compass. It's a directional plate that you can turn. And it looks like this. This is from a scan of an existing one, not one that I have, but one I found on the Radio Museum's website. So this is how it really looks, white paint on black. I printed this on the sticky vinyl material that I found on the internet. And my idea is to create that plate. So the deal with this thing that holds the plate right here is this is a pressure fit through the case, and I don't have the knowledge or tools necessary to, I think it's a pressure fit. There's no sign of threads or anything. So it looks like it was just squeezed on there, which makes sense, except I can't squeeze it back off again. So what I had to do was come up with a way to make a metal plate that would go in there and be about the same size as the original, but it would have to come in be in two pieces so that I could fit each half under there and then bond them back together. And the only way I could think of to do that, this is a piece of, no, this is brass. This is a piece of brass sheeting, like this. And what I did was I roughed it out in shape, and then cut it right in half with a pair of tin snips, and then soldered using silver solder, soldered it back together. And it came out quite rigid. With this one I was able to solder it on both sides, but if I do this, if this idea works, might or might not, what I'll have to do is be able to cut, I made a new one, cut this in half, fit the two halves around this shaft right here, and then slide something that's heat-proof under here so that I can solder the edges again, except on here, and something that's heat-proof, fairly heat-proof, so that I don't scorch the leather case. I don't want to hurt the leather case. So it's kind of a challenge, I've found. This one taught me that it can be done, quite rigid. This one's going to teach me whether I can do it in place. What I will do, let me grab a piece of paper here. What I will attempt to do, as I was soldering this one, the silver solder will fill the void. So what I'll do, if you were looking at this cross section like that, I can use a darker pen, I think. Yeah. Here's it's greatly exaggerated, of course, two halves of this once I cut it in half. If I shape this part like that edge, then I've got more area for the solder to fill. So what I'll do is I'll cut this in half, and then I will bevel the inside edges of each half so that they look like this. That'll give me more solder more metal, more area to fill with the solder, and then I won't have to worry about trying to solder the backside, because that's just going to be flat impossible. So that's my plan. But first, And there's always a first. I have to find a silicon heat pad that'll fit under there. So it has to be fairly thin. I think I found the source of one, and I'm going to go see if I can buy it right now.
I told my own fortune before I left home. Goodbye.
Sing Old Rockin' Chair. Oh, rocking chair's got me, no doubt about it. Chained by my side, can't do without it. Fetch me down, then spirit boy.
Yes, sir.
Before I tan your hide. Can't get from this cabin, I ain't never going away nowhere. Just set me here grabbing at the flies on my rocking chair. My dear old Aunt Harriet, I know that way up in heaven she be. Oh, send me down sweet chariot, for the end of my trouble I see. Oh, rocking chair gets it, I do believe that Judgment Day is here. Chained to my old rocking chair, rocking chair, rocking chair, rocking chair, rocking chair. Oh, rocking chair's got me. Can't hear from my side. Oh, go away, I want a dream song. Don't want to tan your hide. Can't get from this habit. Can't go nowhere. Just set me here grabbing at the flies around my rocking chair. My dear Aunt Harriet, in heaven she be.
Okay, with the chassis out, I unhooked one side of the handle to get it out of the way. Here are my two brass discs. I've filed the insides off. They fit snugly. Okay. They join nicely with each other. I think the silicon's going to be thin enough to slide under there. Like that. Just. Or not. Maybe I'll have to see if I can get it under there after this is in. Okay. As long as I can do one side at a time, that'll be fine. All right. What I'll do next is clean these edges with some alcohol. And this is the solder I'm using, Stay Bright. Silver bearing solder, no lead. I'll make sure to use plenty of Stay Clean liquid to make a good joint. And I will cut the solder to length to lie right in the joint like that, and then I don't have to try to feed it. I can just melt it into the space. So that's what's next. Okay, it's a little thicker than I wanted it, but I can file that off. And the silicon did what it was supposed to do, so that's good. Allow alcohol to cool it more quickly. Excellent. Now to do this side. All right. It's a little out of round, I see, that I'm spinning it on there. Could have done a better job on that. But I'm not going to do it again. Okay, I'll grind the solder off and we'll take a look. Okay, there it is. I smoothed it out. It feels like it's going to hold. Pretty strong joint. I'll hit it one more time with alcohol and then cut this out. See if I can fit it on there without too many bubbles. So, I'll come back when that's done. And there it is. Restored reasonably well. It's not great, but it's back to where it kind of was in the first place when it first came off the shelf. So not bad, not great, not bad. I'll take it. I'll take it. Now I'll reassemble it and move on to the next thing, whatever that is.